from the time we're kids, we're told one thing about money: save it. It's the responsible thing to do, right? But what if I told you that just by leaving your money in a supposedly safe bank account, you might actually be losing money every single day? Yeah, let's talk about that silent risk hiding in your savings. I mean, it seems like a pretty straightforward question, doesn't it? You put your hard-earned money into a savings account, you see the number go up with interest, so of course it's growing. Well, today we're gonna poke a hole in that idea, and honestly, the answer might completely change the way you look at your money forever. Okay, but let's get one thing straight. Saving money is a great habit. Seriously, if you're doing it, you should be proud of yourself. But there's this hidden catch, this dilemma that even the smartest, most careful savers run into, and a lot of the time, they don't even see it coming. We've all heard this one, right? A paisa saved is a paisa earned. It's like the golden rule of money our parents and grandparents passed down. And it comes from a really good place, you know? A place of security, of discipline. Saving is absolutely the foundation. But there's a huge but that we need to talk about. And this right here, this is the core of the problem. You check your bank statement and, hey, the number is bigger than last year, so you feel good. But what almost everyone misses is that just because the number is going up doesn't mean your money's power is going up. How is that even possible? Well, it all comes down to one single word, a word that's kind of the villain of our story today.
And that word is inflation. I know. You've probably heard it a million times on the news, but it's one of those things that can feel a bit abstract. Like, what does it actually mean for my money sitting in my bank account? So let's make it real. Let's think of inflation as a silent thief, one that sneaks in and takes a tiny piece of your money every single day without you ever noticing.
Okay, let's break this down in the simplest way possible. All inflation really means is that over time, the stuff you buy every day gets more expensive. We're talking about everything: groceries, petrol, your rent, even movie tickets. It just means that the exact same amount of money buys you a little bit less today than it did yesterday.
Just think about your favorite place to get biryani. That biryani probably didn't get magically tastier or bigger, right? But I bet it got more expensive. That's inflation in action. It's not that the biryani is worth more. It's that the rupee itself is worth a little less. Your 120 rupees just doesn't stretch as far as it used to.
Okay, so we've established that things are getting more expensive. Now let's connect that dot directly back to your savings account. And I've got this great metaphor that I think really makes it all click. So check this out. This is the crucial part. For the last 10 years or so, India's average inflation rate has been hovering around, let's say, 6% a year. Now, look at a typical savings account. What does it give you? Maybe 3% interest if you're lucky? You see the problem here, right? Inflation is chipping away at your money's value by 6%, but your bank is only adding back 3%. You're losing 3% of your money's actual power every single year without even touching it. And this is where that metaphor comes in. It's like you're trying to walk up an escalator, but the escalator is going down, and it's going down faster than you can climb. You're putting in the effort, you're climbing, you're seeing the numbers in your account tick up, but that downward pull of inflation is stronger. You're working hard just to end up further behind.
All right, analogies are great for understanding the concept, but let's look at the cold, hard numbers. This is where it gets really eye-opening. Let's imagine you've been a great saver, and you've put away 5 lakh rupees.
Okay, so with a 3% interest rate after 10 years, you open your bank statement and it shows something like 6,72,000 rupees. And you'd probably look at that and think, awesome, I made over 1.5 lakh just by letting my money sit there. On the surface, it absolutely looks like a win.
But now we bring in our silent thief. When you factor in that 6% average inflation over the same 10 years, the actual buying power of that money, what it can actually get you, is closer to 3,75,000 rupees in today's money. Think about that. You started with 5 lakh, and now you can buy less than 4 lakh worth of things with it.
So here's the bottom line. You didn't make money. You silently lost 1,25,000 rupees of real-world value. And this is exactly why this stuff is so important to understand. It's totally invisible. The number in your account goes up, so it never feels like a loss. But believe me, it is.
So that's the problem. And I know it can be a little bit of a shock to hear. But the good news is, once you actually see the problem, you can start doing something about it. And it all kicks off with a really simple but powerful shift in how you think about money.
And this is the big mindset shift right here. Instead of seeing your money as just treasure to be locked away in a safe, start thinking of it like a tool in your workshop.
A tool that, if you learn how to use it right, can actually build more for you. The goal isn't just to save and store money, it's to put that money to work.
Now, I know exactly what you might be thinking. When I say put money to work, your brain probably jumps straight to investing. And for a lot of us, that word is, well, it's scary. It brings up these images of risky bets or losing all your savings. And you know what? That fear is totally normal and completely valid.
But here's the thing that's so important to get. Investing isn't some black or white, all or nothing game. It's a spectrum. There are low-risk options, medium risk, and high-risk options. The main goal, especially when you're starting out, isn't to become a millionaire overnight. The primary goal is just to make your money grow faster than inflation is shrinking it.
So let's just see how this could look. Now, of course, this is just a hypothetical example for us to learn from. It's not financial advice. But look at the difference. Your 5 lakh rupees in a savings account turned into about 6,72,000. But in an investment that, say, returned 11% a year, which is a rate that has been possible in some long-term Indian investments, it could have grown to over 14 lakh. That is the massive difference between sleeping money and working money.
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot. The problem, the numbers, the big mindset shift. So what do you actually do right now? Let's boil it all down to one super simple, not at all scary thing you can do the second this is over.
Because the journey doesn't start with downloading an investing app or picking a stock. Nope, it starts with a single moment of awareness. The most powerful first step you can take is to just become aware of where you stand right now. That's it. That's your first mission. Right after this, take 60 seconds. Pull out your phone, open your banking app, find your main savings account, and just find that interest rate number. I'm willing to bet most of us have never even bothered to look at it.
And once you see that number, whether it's 2.7%, maybe 3.5%, and you hold it up against that 6% inflation number we've been talking about, something is just gonna click. And that click, that moment you become aware, that's the real start of your financial journey. The only question left is, now that you know, what's your next move?